And all of this is like becomes chatter, extra chatter that sublimates into the ego, and then you don't know what's yours and what's external, and then it just becomes this fucking jumble fuck. And I kudos to you, by the way, for making it this far. The cops and the hospital, and I'm sure they've tried to dose you, right?
Mm.
Yeah, they give you antipsychotics, and I'm guaranteed they said that you had some kind of psychotic break or
Yeah, I mean,
um,
they told me, the doctor said I think it was
schizophrenia.
THC psychosis, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's what they do too. They ask if you've done any drugs, and then they'll like tag schizophrenia onto the last drug you did.
I'm just like, okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
not anything like that happened for me. But
No, you have classic Kundalini psychosis. Welcome to the community.
no,
But
I mean, he told me I needed to focus on like clearing and protection, which
perfect.
I mean, whatever those things are, I mean, I guess I know some things, but like when you say heal the astral body and allow it to mature, I mean, is that just like your basic stuff of like getting into rituals and like getting
No,
healthy?
you see, this is the problem. Is that it's we're up in the clouds right now. So when the Kundalini first wakes up, it tends to shoot up into the higher chakras, depending on how powerful the awakening is. But since you said it was reverberating like that, head to toe, I think you had the full uh, blast of this electrical discharge. So what happens is this is very common. People shoot their heads up into I call it the 5D clouds, and you become overstimulated with spiritual out of body senses, and your sensory organs start activating your third eye, and then it becomes very ungrounding, and then your 3D life might suffer greatly. And the fact you're having interactions with those saturnic structures like hospitals and cops and shit, that tells me that the root is suffering. And so I would advise more than anything doing all things grounding, maybe taking a step back from the spiritual stuff, the rituals and all that, and just like, oh man, I'm getting chills telling you this right now. That's how I know it's on point. But like, I would go balls deep in healing the physical body and taking care of my root. I need to do this shit myself now that I think about it. But avoiding stimulants for sure. I know that's the hardest one, probably tea, coffee, alcohol, drugs, all that shit, because those affect the light body configuration the most.
Like,
What's
that's the
that?
hardest. The stupid nicotine vape's the hardest.
Yeah, well, there's a thing with nicotine too, though, is that it's killing nanotech, and that's a whole nother story. But especially if it's pure nicotine. I don't know if you've heard
Nanotech.
that. Yeah, yeah, it's probably not the best time to tell you about it, but yeah, no, we're under attack right now by forces that are ruling this planet. They're terraforming it with all kinds of chemicals. You know this
Well,
already.
I felt like my thing, they told me it was like created by bad aliens, so I was like, great.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you get to the point where it's just like whatever. It's hardcore and it's crazy information, but it's just the truth. So we just got to face it head on. And all you can do is just focus on yourself and try to get your head out of those crazy concepts and the spiritual occult stuff and the mysteries and all this shit, and just bring it all back down into your heart, and then start keeping it in the body and taking care of the body. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do. And then once you ground properly that Kundalini, it'll fucking become coherent and it will start transforming. It's like this whole transformational process where it has to anchor in the body properly. And if you're not doing it in the correct way, it's going to be chaotic. The fucking thing goes like a yo-yo up and down your spine randomly, and you'll just be like one day chilling and you won't be perceiving much of anything outside of 3D. And then all of a sudden you'll have a full on out of body experience. You'll talk to these crazy entities that will take you on this whole guide like journey into the inner earth. And then, and then you'll come back and have to like deal with all that you just experienced and then go to work and pay bills. And it's just fucking, there's too much incoherence. So like, if I went through all this in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, but it's going to find grounding whether you want it to or not, but it's going to be more chaotic if you don't take control and guide it. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, the one thing I really like have started noticing in my body is like, I mean, I feel like I've always had kind of like intestinal, like when I had my like depression and when I was drinking a lot, like I wasn't eating well, and like I probably, you know, I mean, intestines, probably my stomach wasn't the greatest, but like now it's like I feel like every little thing. Like I didn't used to feel my intestines contract, like, and it's not like it's like an IBD or IBS thing. It's like literally I can just feel like every little like thing moving, and I'm just like, what the
That's
fuck? Like,
crazy. Yeah, no, that's normal. That's super normal. I feel that all the time. So there's an increase in electrical energy from the Kundalini running through your torus field into your biology. So you'll start to, not only will you start to feel all this extra sensory stuff, all this electrical currents moving, energy being blocked, energy becoming coherent, creating cascading orgasmic little ripples. Your organs will also start communicating with you. So, like, for example, if you're about to do something that hurts your stomach, you'll get like a pain in your stomach before you even put it in your body, like stuff like that. And that's weird you say that, because that's my number one thing I'm working on is my stomach. And the other crazy thing is the Kundalini has to anchor in the stomach. It
I
literally
feel like
is.
that's happening at times. Like I feel like this energy is just like down in there, like not
Oh,
like a
wow.
contraction thing. It's just like
So it might already be anchoring in there. So it gestates in the solar plexus. And then, okay, it is being fueled by your breath, or what's called the prana. Okay, and it's electrical energy, believe it or not, that's coming through the top of your torus whenever you're breathing. It's not just oxygen through the nose. You're pulling in energy every time you breathe. Okay, and it's going through the diaphragm, which sits where? Right on top of the stomach. Okay, so when you pull in this breath, it goes into feeding this seed, this gestating Kundalini energy there in the stomach. And then also the food goes down in your stomach, and then the energy, the prana, goes from the food into your solar plexus and feeds the Kundalini. So what will happen is if you don't push
yeah, it's like
it,
I feel like when I eat now, I feel like I can just feel the food and everything just like absorb right in, and I'm just like, what's going on?
yeah, I bet you'll become extra sensitive. You won't be able to eat like shit. You won't be able to eat. Once you start really breaking up the blocked energy and moving it where it needs to go, you'll notice that you can't eat certain times of the day because it's active and wanting to move. And yeah, so I mean, you just got to adapt with it. I would try to listen to it as much as possible because it's gonna take you for a ride if you don't. But yeah, so that fucking, when it anchors into the stomach, it becomes a nightmare if you don't learn how to move it. You'll lose sleep. It'll literally make your whole body unable to relax, and you'll feel like this fiery kind of pressure here. Sometimes you feel a heartbeat here in the stomach. But what it wants to do is go down the fucking legs, hook into the feet. That's what it wants to do.
Well,
So
you try to like think about it doing that.
yeah, so I should have taught you in the first session, but it is actually guided by your mind, your heart, and your will. What's called the attention, the feeling, and the will. This is what moves it. It's electromagnetism. So this Kundalini energy has to ride a positive and a negative current. Okay, but what leads it is the masculine principle of the attention. So wherever you put your attention, it's gonna latch on. It's gonna follow it, your attention. Okay, you've heard of energy flows where attention goes. It's literally true, especially on your own body. When you do that, wherever you put your attention, it's going to start sending all electrical energy and holding there like a standing wave. It'll stay there. And so your energy field is following your fucking mind's eye all day, every day, which is what makes attention so fucking important. And that's why everything's trying to steal your attention, especially the face sucking phone with the doom scrolling, right? But the thing that propels the energy, so you got to lead it, and then you got to follow with your heart from behind, and that's what pushes it. These two principles. The best way I can explain feeling into the energy is you start in your heart center, you feel into your core and your heartbeat,
When
and
I
then
had that first like out of body experience when they were trying to show me stuff, I remember they did show me like how to release energy from my heart, like, and they were like, and I remember how it felt, and like sometimes I'll have that feeling, like, and I'm just like, ooh, like.
Awesome. Yeah. You feel into your heart center and then I spiral because the curve is feminine and the heart is the feminine principle, the emotion, the intuition. So what I do is I go into my heart, I feel into it. You're not up here in your head perceiving with your mind's eye with like analyzing shit visually. You're feeling emotionally into your heart and then try to connect emotionally into wherever you're leading with your attention. They work together. But what I do is I'll feel into the bulge of stuck energy in the solar plexus and feel into it in waves from my heart. And I'm using the attention to lead where it wants to go. So I'll put my attention on it, feel into it from my heart, and then lead with my attention down to the sacral. And I'll just lash at this blocked energy with those two principles that are innate in you, your attention and your feeling. You just keep doing it, boom, boom, and you'll get better and better at it. You'll get muscle memory.
Focusing on your pelvis and then down to your legs?
Yeah, so it just depends how far you want to do it, how powerful. You can do like short, concentrated bursts, or you can do like full-on flares that go down your legs into your feet. But eventually, you're gonna feel it where it's at. And you're gonna feel this big motherfucker. It's like a star, believe it or not. It moves in flares. It's weird. So like it'll lash, little pieces of it will move, and then all of a sudden the whole thing will roll and migrate to the next chakra. It's you gotta like carve at it with the attention and feeling, and it will keep flaring until it grabs on. It's magnetic. It's electromagnetic. So it like enough of it has to migrate. It like grabs, it's like solar flares, just like solar flares. It's weird. I don't know if you've ever seen how the solar flares work, but they put out these big magnetic bands, and then if there's enough, they just snap and go. And that's kind of how the Kundalini charge works too in the solar plexus. If you do it properly, it's orgasmic, really. As soon as it connects down the legs into the feet, fully connects into the feet, you'll get the chills like reverberating. You'll get orgasmic chills come out your skull on the side because it rides that opposing electromagnetic current that comes right up through the center of your body. But yeah, so that's the next level. So the initial rising, it chaotically is led by your thoughts and feelings. Remember, attention, feeling. So if you're subconsciously using your attention, feeling, just going around living your life with your thoughts and feelings, it's fucking going for a ride. It's going to take you for a ride randomly. And it might lead you into some crazy shit too, until you take control of it, become disciplined. Remember, discipline is a principle of Saturn. So this is all root chakra stuff. You're trying to ground this fucker in, and grounding it in will bring harmony. And it is musical. It's cymatics. It's tone. You're an electrotonal being. So I would just focus on grounding this energy in. Maybe get some. I don't know how much money you got, but you could get some new technology they're putting out that help with energy centers. I'm looking into some shit like that right now. There's these electrical torus field generators that you can place over the blocked energy, and it will move it. But if you don't want to spend any, you don't need to spend money either. The big fucking selenite ones were crucial for me. Crucial. And they were cheap. Just selenite, it's crystallized salt crystal. It was $16 for this fucking 16-incher, this massive one. And so whenever you put it, because of its linear structure, you place it over where the Kundalini gestates from the solar plexus down to the root. You try to get a big old thick one. If you can get one that narrows down, tapers.
Oh, got one actually. Well, it doesn't taper.
It still will work though. You place it over where the Kundalini's chilling, down in the stomach, sacral, and root, and the electrical energy will grab onto the linear structure and it will conduct it down automatically. But it won't be like boom. It won't just move. It'll lash, like I said before. It'll ride in waves down there, and then you use your tension feeling to guide it. And sometimes it's stubborn. You'll feel all the energy move down. your root, and then you feel like it won't go down your legs, but then all of a sudden it will go down your legs, and then you'll feel like it's stuck around your ankles and it won't fully come into your toes. But what it needs to do is wrap counterclockwise around the legs, and then you just keep visualizing